We have our first class, our second class, and our third class levers. These guys are all different depending on where the fulcrum is sitting, as well as the load and the force. Okay, so I'll start with our first class levers. First class levers, you have the fulcrum in the middle, you have the load on one side, and then you have the force on the other side. So classic seesaw is an example of a first class lever with a fulcrum in the middle. Someone's forcing their way down, and then the other person on the other side is going up, and that is the load right here. Okay. Second class levers, we have the fulcrum on this side over here. Okay, just doesn't matter what side it is. I chose the left side. Okay, as long as the load is in the middle and the force is actually going up, it's getting pulled up or pushed up. Okay, so a classic example of this is a wheelbarrow. Okay, a wheelbarrow, the wheel is technically the fulcrum. We have the load inside the wheelbarrow, and then the force is actually getting pushed up or pulling up on that thing. Okay, that is a second class lever example. Lastly is our third class. So fulcrum stays on the same side, doesn't matter what side. Okay, but this time we've switched force and load. Force is now in the middle, pulling up, and the load is on the outside over here. Okay, so a good example of this is your bicep. So here we have our bicep. We have a load, weights in someone's hand. Okay, and we have our elbow. Okay, so the elbow is actually the fulcrum right here. Okay, and the force, the bicep is actually pulling in the middle of this kind of, we'll call it a bar. I know it's a bone, but in that bar, it's actually pulling in the middle of it, just like our example up here, and the load is on the outside. So if you take a look, load is on the outside, just like that. The force is actually between the load and the fulcrum. So that's right over here. And then we have the fulcrum as the elbow.